Fascinating clash here as Cairns and Tasmania clash in what is a real interesting game because both teams on the quick backup. Cairns, of course, were in Perth and they've had their cross-country trip. Tassie, they've got to make their way from their home base all the way up to the far north of Queensland. Should be a close game, which is reflected in the line, but I'm focused on the next star. Bobby Clintman didn't play enough against the Wildcats. Hopefully he'll play more here. 15+ points. We know he can light it up, and we'll take the Cairns Taipans to get it done as well. Enjoy the game.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Dang, all the way! Doyle from downtown. Ching into the aim to get the job done is Lat Mayan. Fans on their feet here. It's Crawford. Knocks that down. Well, the Cairns Taipans are the only team in the Hungry Jacks NBL undefeated at home this season, and tonight they look to make it 4 straight wins as they play host to the Tasmania JackJumpers. Both teams suffered defeats on Thursday night, which makes this clash vital as we welcome you to the Cairns Convention Centre for the Hungry Jacks NBL tip-off as round 8 continues. Should be a good game. Both teams semi-finalists last season, and the Mitsubishi Motors ladder will show the 3rd and 7th on the ladder at the moment. I'm alongside NBL Championship winners Damon Lowry and Pete Hawley. These teams have met 7 times, Damon. 5 times the game's been decided by single digits. It should be good.
Thanks, Case. We all know this is going to be a classic barn burner game, I feel. Even though one team's 7th, the other team is 3rd, there's nothing separating these two teams. Always say styles make fights. Cairns want to get out, play some D and run. Tassie want to run a little bit, but they also want to defend. So I'm expecting this game to go either way tonight. And
Pete, 2 great coaches as well. Adam Ford, reigning coach of the year. Season before, it was Scott Roth.
Yeah, both coaches have done an exceptional job of building an identity, a style of play around where they are. I mean, Cairns, small market team, the way they play, it's a fun style. And this man right here, Tajir McCall, he was a bit slow out of the gates when returning from the birth of his first child, but he looks in the last couple of games to have his touch back. And he's their heart and soul. The way he plays, and we know he's an emotional player, but he is that extension of Adam Ford when he's out there, and that's why he coached games in the blitz as well. Still got to work on that outside shot. It's been the one thing that's held him back in his entire career, but he's really tough at getting to the rim. He gets to the free throw line nearly better than anybody in the whole league. And if Cairns are rolling, normally he is as well. None
of 6 from long range so far, but Taron Armstrong, look, much heralded coming into this competition, Damon. On Thursday night in Perth, he had 5.6 boards, 4 assists in just 15 minutes. I think he's not far away from a breakout game.
I certainly hope so, and I think everybody needs to just chill out with the comparisons with Josh Giddey. Taron Armstrong was only a young dude. Josh is an NBA vet pretty much now, and he's got off to a little bit of a slow start. His shot is not really falling for him, but he's got enough talent and enough belief in himself that I'm sure he'll turn the corner.
He's an exciting young prospect, and I'm sure we haven't seen the best of him yet. Can bring so much to the table. And for Scott Roth and the Tasmania JackJumpers, well, they are never out of the equation. They've won 9 of their last 11 final quarters. So if they're hanging around like they did on Thursday night against the New Zealand Breakers, they had no right to be back in this game, but there they were, Pete.
Oh, I mean, it's what the JackJumpers have made their entire identity on. Just not going away. They stick to their guns. They get the defense locks in that 4th quarter. But you're right, New Zealand looked like they had this game done and dusted. And right here, Tassie, but potentially a chance to snatch it. Isaiah Liafa made an amazing decision, and Jordan Crawford would want that one back. I know they were trying to get it to their closer, but what an effort to get back. And look, they need to get back on the winners list. 97 points to New Zealand is not the way they like to play.
How about the return of Will Magnay to form on Thursday night as well? Look at those numbers. His 2nd highest points ever, 2nd highest rebounds ever, and throw in 4 blocks as well. He was dominant, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, Dave.
Big Will Magnay was in his bag in his 2nd game back from injury. He's done a little bit of everything. He can finish. He's a lob threat. He obviously protects the rim. Between him and Marcus Lee, they have elite rim protection. It's just good to see Will stay healthy. And if you think he can come in there with any foolishness, he'll let you know he's not having none of it, Pete.
Oh, it's just great to see him on the floor. I mean, all that in just 16 minutes is incredible. So as he gets his motor underneath, you're right, that 1-2 punch of them in the 5 spot is going to be pretty tough to deal with.
Majuk Deng returns to Cairns. He spent the last 4 seasons there before moving to Tasmania. In pre-game, we caught up with him and asked him about his return to far north Queensland.
I'm feels good. Feel like it's been a year already, but it's only been a couple of months. But yeah, it feel good to be back, see a couple of familiar faces. But yeah, it feels good. I mean, I had a really good relationship with all of them. So yeah, I'm pretty close with all of them. My catcher was with Bull Qual. He's one of the guys that I'm close with. Obviously, Lat is my little cousin. So, but yeah, pretty much everyone there's no bad blood.
It's been a good pickup for the Cairns, for the Tasmania JackJumpers, averaging 9 points a game and 38% from deep. They're going with the same starting five they rolled out on Thursday night, Dave.
Going with a three-guard lineup, and Tazier, Patrick Miller, and Taron Armstrong, obviously with Sam Wardenberg and Bull Qual.
It's really a three-point guard lineup, you're right. Four guards have gone Bull Qual. He's the Tasmania starting lineup, and they're rolling with what they've gone with the entire season. Milton Doyle, Jordan Crawford, their elite backcourt. And everybody else just steps up to the plate. So this is going to be very interesting. You said styles make fights, Damon. It's the best offensive rated team in Tasmania versus the second best defensive rated team in Cairns. So something has to give.
Underway in the Cairns Convention Centre. Thanks for sharing your Saturday night with us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. It is the JackJumpers working to the right of your screen to control the tip. Mentioned they've used the same five in all 12 games. Only team to do it. Some teams, i.e. Brisbane and the Phoenix, have used 10 starters this season. But that consistency for Tasmania really does add to their advantages.
Another early foul for Bull Qual. Now, on Thursday night, he got sent to Bryce Cotton, and he had a foul very early on, and then the start of the second quarter picked up a cheap one. We know he is extremely physical off the ball. I'm wondering if sooner rather than later, he's going to have to just tone that. It's not his nature to, but he's going to have to just tone it back. Otherwise, he's going to have to sit down.
We also know that this is what he's going to do. He's a scorpion. He can't help himself. He needs to know how to protect himself, though.
Red numbers on the shot clock from Milton Doyle as he charges forward. And offensive foul is called on Milton Doyle.
Good take there from Bull Qual, and I think getting that first foul meant he had no choice but to just stand still. He knew that if he did anything other than that, potential to pick up a second foul and sit down.
Foul apiece inside the first 35 seconds. No score so far as the Taipans come forward. Chance for them to open scoring. Here's Bull Qual with it. Looks down to the baseline against Marcus Lee and does open scoring.
Nice finish by the pit Bull Qual. Tazier McCall looks like he's playing center. He's setting the ball screens. He's got Marcus Lee guarding him. How will he exploit that matchup?
Well, I'm not sure this is the starting five that they are going to roll with throughout the season. Bobby Clipman is out of this one, the elite next star. I think he's going to be in that starting lineup. Because look, they're having to switch everything. They are undersized, but they've got elite versatility on that defensive capabilities with everybody who can guard anybody. But it's going to be interesting to see how they go when they are undersized.
Straight to the rim and getting the finishing touches from Taj McCall.
You can do that.
Interesting. So I played three guards. And Marcus Lee, you have got to guard somebody.
Doyle feeding Lee from close range. He opens Tassie's account. Took off 90 seconds.
Where you could be disadvantaged on one end, you're going to have the advantage on the other. You're spot on. But yeah, I think Bobby Clipman, when he's healthy, is going to come into this starting lineup. And look, again, we've said it in the past. Adam Ford signed Pat Miller to be a backup to Taron Armstrong. His idea wasn't to start him until Taron Armstrong's foot injury, and he had no choice but to, and he put up MVP-type numbers to start with.
Another chance for the JackJumpers. Crawford rolls it down to Lee. Nice pass. Trimmick cutting hard to the hole, and Tassie back on level terms.
Caught Sam Wardenberg standing the ball. He saw that Marcus Lee had Taj on the block, caught himself peeking. Good job by Jack cutting to the basket.
Pat Miller with it. Armstrong firing from deep. That's been his strong suit so far this season. The offensive rebound of Bull Qual ready to go back at Doyle. Takes him on. That's a nice finish.
And louder and louder, that Bull Qual in the most improved player conversation because of what he's doing on the offensive end. He's been terrific in attack mode. He is just too important to his team to have to worry about changing his game if he picks up some early fouls.
Crawford for Doyle. Single numbers on the shot clock. Long pass inside was ambitious from McVeigh. McCall read it brilliantly and now charges up the other way. Past Crawford, confronted by Doyle. Couldn't finish it. And a chance for Tassie. 3 minutes played. Cairns on top by 2. Crawford draws a foul up to the free throw line. Foul's going to be called here on Taryn Armstrong as we welcome in the 4th member of our commentary team for this game. Joe Healy is with us courtside.
Thank you. Good afternoon, gents. We've been doing a little bit of digging up here in Cairns. Spoke to both coaches pre-game to get an idea of where they're at coming in. Scott Roth kept his cards pretty close to his chest. He literally said he'd have to kill me if he gave up their defensive strategy coming into this one. But we do know it's an area of their game that they want to improve. Adam Ford was a little more open. He said their turnovers have been a big problem and they need to find that balance of pushing a fast-paced offense and also slowing it down and looking after the ball. They also need to put more points on the board. He said that in no uncertain terms, Latmayan, when he comes into the game, has the license to continue to shoot. That comes after his career best 5 3-pointers on Thursday night.
First free throws of the game there. Crawford makes the back end, so it's a 1-point ball game. Tick over 3 minutes played in the opening quarter. The first of our double header. A little later, Brisbane versus Perth as Miller elevates from the elbow. Whistle on the play as well.
And back to Joe's point and talking to Adam Ford about trying to get the points ticking over. I don't think this starting lineup is it because you look at the shooting they have on there right now. Pat Miller shoots 20% from 3. Armstrong 25%. Sam Wardenberg struggling at 25%, and Taj McCall is 0%. So that is the kind of outside shooting you've got. Latmayan shoots it at 50% from 3, and you throw in Bull Quall, who's at 40%. So I think obviously when Bobby Clement, as we keep talking about, and Bull Quall loves the mid-range, when he comes in, he'll start, and he's shooting it at an all-right clip. But there's basically 3.5, 4 non-shooters right now, and that's the way they're going to be treated from the defense. It's hard to put points on the ball when they pack it in like that.
Against the JackJumpers, so good they give up just 85 a game, second best in the competition. That's ambitious from Crawford, but he gets it done.
President of the Little Big Man Society, you need to be able to get off difficult shots when you get in there with the trees. And he's been little a long time. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, that is true. He has not. That has not changed since 2021. Sam Wardenberg tries to get the first one good deep. Is he the president? PJC's vice, or is?
Yeah, I got Jordan as president, PJC vice. Got a nice little squad.
Indeed. Pass from McDonald for Lee. Came unstuck. Well on the end of this. Thought he was fouled, couldn't get a whistle, so a chance here for the JackJumpers. 5 on 4 at the moment. McVeigh dances into the paint and draws a foul up to the free throw line.
Now that's an area right there, great penetration by Jack. The Sam Wardenberg with his size, I think he's mobile enough. He's going to have to be able to contain the ball, especially in transition. You don't want to be the guy, Pete, on the scouting report where they say, go at you.
Especially not when you're a team right now that's switching nearly everything. So right as Scott Roth would have gone into this, they would have looked at the tape, said if they're switching, you're right, there's certain matchups. If you get there in front, you put your head down. They're just trying to attack the rim and they're getting fouled or getting open layups. And here comes AK Gack pretty quickly into this game.
So again, Tassie JackJumpers their way back into the frame here. Middle stages of this opening quarter, and there's a massive contrast between these teams in terms of experience. The JackJumpers have got 7 players with 100+ games. Bull Quall with 70, and 3 seasons is the most for Cairns.
Well, it just speaks to the factory Adam Ford likes to call it. Just bring in that youth. Except for this man right here, the only one that doesn't fit that youth profile at 31 years old, Pat Miller, but he's going to go to the free throw line there. And the reason AK Gack came in is because Will Magnate, and there is the next star, Bobby Clement, super high on his potential. And look, he's been dominating when he's in the starting lineup. When he came off the bench, he's been a little shaky. He looked sore on Thursday. Only played the few minutes and he's out of this one with that hip injury. So not surprising. Hopefully he gets back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you want to err on the side of caution, I suppose. He is the 20th pick in the draft, allegedly.
We're talking millions here.
We're talking millions, so I'm going to,
You're going to allow it for this? Okay. Once again, anytime we talk about injuries, case around Damon, it's just...
Let's just be careful.
Well, Miller gets to the free throw line more than any other player for Cairns. He's top 10 in the competition and taking free throws overall. #1 on averages. Stumbled there going down. Crawford just caught in the backcourt there for the moment. Eventually dances away from Bull Quall. Magnay onto the floor as well. McVeigh shares it with McDonald. Moved it quickly, but the shot clock has rolled to single digits here. Crawford about pulling the trigger. Steps back from Bull Qual. Separation and came up with the goods.
Tough. Good D initially by Bull Qual, but he's got a lot in the repertoire. And Taj does what he does best, just gets on the rim. Nice in transition.
That was such a tough shot. Jordan Crawford, that was so well defended by a team. This is what they're doing with this lineup. They're switching a whole lot of things. Adam Ford's just trusting that there's going to be a lot of communication. Look at that. A double switch in the same play from Qual and Pat Miller.
It's Crawford, nimble as well. Got down low, adds another 2. He's putting on quite a show here. 7 points to lead all scorers.
You're going to have to pick your poison with Jordan Crawford. You can crowd him if you want to. You set your own peril, or do you sag off a little bit, but he's shooting a great percentage from 3. You got to find that happy medium with him.
It's time Miller off the mark, kept alive. Yak. It's McCall, beats Wardenberg. He's 1 of 5 from deep on Thursday night, and his shooting this season has been very poor. 11 threes at 25%.
And again, we mentioned this on Thursday when I was calling that game. He took 3 threes in the first quarter because they were given to him. Once he went to the free throw line, he's still reluctant after that, but he had to shoot one and it looked good. What he's going to do right now, you think, is just try and find a way to get to the free throw line so you can see one go down and get that confidence. Because right now it looks a bit of the shoulders up, doesn't it, in the first quarter where he's overthinking it and he's short-arming a lot of that from deep.
These little kids, footwork. Get this in your game. He creates the contact, step back, and then you crowd me too much. Take that teardrop off the glass.
Beautiful there on the Harvey Norman replay.
We've had some great small guards in this league, haven't we, Damon? I mean, Jerome Randall springs to mind. We've got 2 great ones here, and that battle that we saw on Thursday night, Parker Jackson-Cartwright was outstanding for New Zealand against Crawford.
Yeah, Parker Jackson-Cartwright, vice president of the Little Big Man Society. He's leading the league in scoring, 3rd in assists, 3rd in steals. Like the little man Casper Ware when he was out here going to work, and don't say he was over 6 feet tall.
No, he's my teammate. In the books they said it was, but I guarantee it wasn't.
And how about Clint Steindl this season? He's been lights out shooting the ball from deep. 14 threes at 61%. He's selective in when he takes his shots, but invariably he knocks them down.
Yeah, for good reason. JackJumpers like to do. That's why they're rolling. Now the best offensive rated team in the competition is the Jim McCall. Tries to win one. He was due.
You do.
First of the season for McCall. They needed that after Tassie had skipped out to a 5-point buffer.
You see, that was in rhythm. It was slow. They were going to give it to him, but he had his feet set.
You hear that music, Pete? That's Junior Madut music. We haven't seen a lot of Junior, but we know what he's capable of.
Certainly swinging the changes here, Scott Roth at the moment. Not one starter out there on the floor at the moment. Tough shot from Gack. He marches over the top, back 2 off the glass. Offensive foul's being called.
That's a great take from Will Magnay. And normally when you're an elite shot blocker, and here's Clint Steindl, shot fake gets McCall in the air, and McCall says, I need to get one back. And look at this, just nice and slow, stepped into it, knocked that one down. And this take here from Will Magnay, very underrated to be able to understand, okay, I'm out of position to even go vertical, to even do anything that's not going to be a foul unless I stand still and take this through the chest. So that is such a smart play from a guy who had 4 blocks, and he's an elite timer. When he goes up after it, times it so well. Gets the charge there.
So Majuk Deng gets it from Madut. Back in that direction, here's Magnay. Meeting Steindl, close attention now. They've grabbed the attention of the Taipans defense. High ball, and they've come up with the goods once more.
Oh, Donald. Little breakdown just ever so slightly. Had AK Gack scrambling. It wasn't his fault. I think it was Paul Qual who got lost and tried to do a little pre-switch. If you're switching a lot defensively, your communication has to be 100%. If there's a breakdown, that's what happens. You give up an open 3.
This is Miller elevating, can't connect. He's none of 2 from the field now. Tassie very efficient, 7 of 11 at 64% from the field so far. Steindl's been part of that. Here he is once more. They share the ball around, and McDonald's on the end of it. He punches down another three there. 3 of 3 from deep. They lead by a game-high 8 points, 95 seconds out from quarter time.
You can hear Scott Roth talking as we see the mix-up, like you say, P.A.K. Gat kind of got lost. Either him or Bull, and Shawnee Mack knocks it down, and then he goes, I got another one for you. Just when that ball got stagnant, you can hear Scott Roth yell out, move it. Because every now and then the Jack Jumpers can get a little bit passive or lax with the ball.
Snooze timeout. Let's hear from Scott Roth pre-game, who spoke about giving up 97 to New Zealand on Thursday night and needing to correct the D.
We just have to compete at the end of the day. We have to play defensively. We have to make sure that we get the glass taken care of and our shot selection. And if we aren't able to do any of those things, we'll walk out of here with a loss.
The main thing is obviously playing full court, 40 minutes, play for 40 minutes, wear guys out for a whole 40 minutes, and you get a better result at the end of the game. And just the little thing, helping each other on defense, communications, pretty much all the basic stuff we've been drilling since the preseason. So it's just coming in, just do all the little things, back each other up, and just continue, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's so evident they're nowhere near where they were the last 2 years defensively. And even Scott Roth, I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and I think he said they came after a loss, and he said to the team, he said, offensively, we're better than we were the last 2 years, but if we don't get back to what we made our name off defensively in the last 2 years, we could finish 10th. They're not going to finish 10th, but that's kind of the reality. He said we could be really good if we lock in on that end. And I know they're talking about containment, but to be honest, I think it's just team defense, and it's just everybody communicating, because on this guard line, outside of Magnay and Marcus Lee, if you have to shut down, they don't have that Matt Kenyon and Sam McDaniel to say go to and lock them down anymore. They don't have that, which means their team D has to be exceptional.
So 90 seconds left, term number 1. Tassie out by 8 points here at the moment after the first 4 of the game was scored by the Cairns Taipans, and now they've coughed it up.
That's the trade-off, Pete. Scott goes, I'll take Anthony Drimmick and I'll take Majuk Ding for their scoring. Okay, yes, they're not maybe as good as defensively, but we're going to get them there. What would you rather have, a guy that can play D who can't score, or vice versa?
No, you're right. I think there's no doubt that by the end of the season, they're going to get to where they need to be. That's what Scott Roth's continuing to drill. And, hey, look, having a healthy Will Magnay and a healthy Marcus Lee is going to help them do that as well, because if you're a guard, you've got those 2 elite rim protectors behind you, all of a sudden you've got a little bit more confidence to take a step closer to your man, knowing if you get beat, you've got to get past the trees behind me.
It's a credit to Tasmania as well. They're 8 of 12 from the field at 67%. That they've been doing this. They've used 11 players here in the first quarter. So despite that mixing and matching, they're still able to come up with an effective play.
Is there a direct flight from Tassie to Cairns?
I don't think there is.
There's a chance for them to expand on the lead here. McDonald being good. Drop the ball off. Deng turnaround against his former team. Majuk Deng comes up with his first score.
Now that right there I love. I thought last game Majuk, he wasn't getting his post touches. Sometimes you go to a dribble handoff and they switch and you don't give it to Majuk. Then he got exposed on defense, and it's hard to be able to, you want to be able to get some get back, Pete. If you score on me, I want to be able to at least come back and score on you. And if he's not scoring, he's only just playing D the whole time, he might not be as engaged as we look here at the replay. Harvey Norman, this turnaround jumper, you can forget it. Pat Miller, that is a mismatch all day long. I'm going right back to it if they're going to switch that, Pete.
Well, I like the fact that he didn't even put the ball on the floor. I just realized the way he shoots, he's going to have the ability to get that shot off. And you're right, he had a tough night the other night, especially in the first half, because Anthony Lamb from the Breakers just sought him out. Said, okay, I've scored here. I'm liking this matchup, and continued to go out. I had 20 points in the first half, and I would say 10 to 12 of those were on Majuk Deng, and a couple of them were tough shots. But when you're feeling good, as Lamb was, that's going to happen.
15 to 7 is the run in the last 5 minutes here. It's dried up for the Taipans, who are 2 of 6 from the free throw line. And they're desperate for points. Just missing those freebies does hurt.
Missed 9 on Thursday night. They're becoming a knack. 3 points, so important.
And 69% on the season, which is the lowest in the competition. It's a worrying trend for them. And in contrast, the JackJumpers at 79%, the best free throw shooters. And the game is so tight, we expect it's going to be close. See the difference between winning and losing. Steindl off the mark. And Duke gets after it, keeps it alive, but he telegraphed the pass. Wartenberg got a piece of it. Now there's a scratch on the floor. Well done, Christovic. And really a Cairns ball here. Oh, that's a heavy landing there again for Pat Miller. And we know that happened against the Sydney Kings and had to sit out a couple of games with a bad back after that. Shot clock 4 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward quarter time. JackJumpers have been impressive. They lead by 9 and Cairns need an answer here as Miller waits patiently for the shot clock. It rolls to single numbers now. It's on the deck. Pass Crawford opens up down at the baseline. Easy two for Miller, his first field goal. To it now with it for Tassie. A little undersized. Needs to get it up quicker than that. That's not going to be after the event. So quarter time arrives here and the Tassie JackJumpers have taken the honours in term number 1. At quarter time, it's Tasmania 24, Cairns 17. More Hungry Jacks NBL coming your way in just a moment.
Cheerleaders, and our QR promo, you can win one of 4 $50 Moranos fuel vouchers. All you got to do is scan the QR code for your chance to win. It's up on the big screen. Also, the cheerleaders have that as well. The QR code will also appear on your clappers as well too. All you got to do, enter your details, answer 3 simple questions for your chance to win. Winners will be contacted via text message. All your Orange Army members, you will also be able to receive 6 cents off per litre all Murano's fuel stations. Collect a discount key tag from the office tonight. Quite simple. Scan that QR code, enter your details, answer 3 simple questions. Could win yourself one of 4 $50 Murano's fuel vouchers.
Thanks for sharing your Saturday night with us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We're excited to welcome Mitsubishi Motors back this season. Fans are celebrating in stadium with the Mitsubishi Motors 3-pointer foam hands, and a range of prizes are up for grabs every week, including a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Get involved, have some fun. Really great to have Mitsubishi Motors back involved. The Outlander I'm driving around at the moment. Very nice piece of machinery. I'm saying a little bit like Andrew Gaze there as we get underway here. And that's a good start for the Taipans because they needed that.
They needed that case because they've given up 60% shooting on the defensive end, so they need to get that scoreboard ticking over.
McCall up to 9 points. Bullquile has 7, so 16 of their 19 between those two at the moment. They need to find some friends. Free throws to come for the JackJumpers, who are 3 of 4 from the stripe in the opening quarter. Taipans 2 of 6. The rebound count 10-5 Tassie as well. So heavily weighted these numbers toward the JackJumpers. Milton Doyle hasn't been a part of it because he's sitting there with 2 fouls at the moment.
Scott Roth is as traditional as they come. If someone gets 2 fouls early, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter how much you trust them, he's going to sit you down every single time.
You're going to sit down that potential MVP in the league just because you got 2, Pete? Scott Roth, trust.
Scott Roth says traditional as they come. It doesn't matter who you are. We've seen it. He's done it all along.
For all of Scott Ross' very humbleness, very poised press conferences case, we know when he gets behind closed doors, there's some paint coming off the walls, I think.
Majuk Deng gets to the free throw line more than any other player for JackJumpers. It's 1 of 2 there. McCall will bring the Taipans back up the floor. It's a 6-point edge. 30 seconds done, and from close range, that's Sam Wardenberg's confidence booster there of his first score.
It's going to feel good for him, and it's a really good start here for Cairns.
Crawford with it, top of the key. It's Krislovic against Wardenberg. Shot clock to 9. Back to Crawford. Shakes McCall, confronted by Wardenberg. Looks like his chances here, and he's too nimble down low. Couldn't finish it. Ball came back to Krislovic, and he gets him a ding a look. Former Taipan can't complete it, but it has Krislovic once more. Offensive rebound count here, 3-2 in favour of the JackJumpers. It feels a little more than that. Make that 4-2 as Crawford explores once more, and a nice finish that eludes him as well.
Cairns dodged a couple of bullets there, gave up 2 old boards to Fab, and then just got lucky with Jordan missing that little teardrop right there. There was always that Tassie guy. Oh, they're taking the little fella down the block. There's always that Tassie guy, Pete. They could always get on the glass and get some offensive rebounds and keep possessions alive. And up until, I guess, just recently, Fabian just showed that right there, getting multiple offensive rebounds on one possession.
Let's go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I was listening in to the JackJumpers there at quarter time. Offensively, they like the activity, cutting and moving off the ball, making things difficult for the Taipans. Defensively, they were pleased to keep them to 17 in that first quarter. Expect them to keep getting between their man and the bucket and just making it tough for the opposition here.
Taipans' season low is 14 at quarter time, so it is a good job to restrict them to only 17. Shot clock to red numbers once more for them. Pat wanting to show some tricks to Krislovic, and bang three.
Window action.
He's playing well this season. That's why that goes down. Lat Mayen, he's definitely in the conversation for most improved player. He's been enormous.
2-point ball game. 6-1 is the score run since quarter time. Outside, this is Steindl with the answering three.
You got to know the scouting reports. Like, you over there peeking Lat Mayen on the weak side as if Clinton Steindl isn't a bona fide sniper. If Cairns gets his floater to go.
He's got to sit in his lap. Clinton Steindl, he doesn't play 30 minutes a game anymore. You know when he's out there, if he gets any bit of daylight, that thing's going up. And right now, that thing's going in.
Oh, bang three everywhere at the moment.
Somewhere Rupert Satwell just cracked open a beer.
The second one, there's a back just down the other end.
5 of 8 from long range, the JackJumpers. Cairns 1 of 4. Long-range shooting being dominated by the visitors at the moment. Josh Roberts out there, a rare sighting of the import for the Cairns Taipans.
Haven't heard that music in a while, the Josh Roberts music. Gotta wonder, gotta ask the question, what is going on in training to see him playing such limited minutes?
Well, we spoke of this a couple of games ago, and I just think it was the way when they were recruiting, it was kind of more of an insurance policy than someone who's going to be really effective for them. When they do have everybody healthy, I think Bobby Clinton coming in and being as good as he has as well has raised the eyebrows and given him a lot more opportunity.
Armstrong, red numbers on the shot clock, feeds it to Wardenberg, who must fire, steps back from McVeigh, can't convert. Roberts, the offensive rebound, kicks outside, and they reset here. McCall, Lat Mayen. Nothing on offer there. Now McCall charges at Krislovic. Now going to be called on the JackJumpers.
It's going to be interesting to see this little chess game that Skoroth's going to have to play in this one, because they're going to be at their best when they can just rotate literally through Will Magnay and Marcus Lee in that 5 spot, and then Krislovic can play the backup 4 if needed. But this Cairns team doesn't have a true centre in terms of someone who's going to just sit on the block and make one-on-one moves or dominate the paint. Sam Wardenberg is really unique the way he plays in that position, so Skoroth has to think, am I rolling out Krislovic at the 5 more than perhaps Magnay and Marcus Lee?
Well done from Drimmick there. Roberts was counting 2, and Drimmick stripped it from him and then controlled it. A chance for the JackJumpers. Pulled back nicely here. 6-2 run for them after they were jumped out in this quarter. Outside the danger man's got it again.
Everybody has seen this Spain action. Everybody runs it. And if Clinton Steindl is anywhere near to set that back pick, you got to know, Pete. That's just a breakdown. As we look at the Harvey Norman replay, good clean block by Drim. And they just completely no communication. Nothing but net.
Every team runs that Spanish action with an elite shooter.
6 of 9 from deep. Now the JackJumpers doing a great job. Pre-game we spoke to Pat Miller, and he spoke about a relationship that he's built with Taj McCall.
Taj ended up transferring to Tennessee State. I was able to meet him when he transferred, and now we all like family in the circle. We train together. He was at my wedding, so it's just family, and I'm glad, like, I'm here to play with him. I never played with somebody I'm that close to on the basketball, on a professional level. Him coaching is like, I'm proud, like, he did a great job, you know, so he got a lot of knowledge, and so it was real beneficial for the team, and he our leader, so.
Yeah, caught up with Pat Miller, learned a little bit about the relationship back in the Blitz in the preseason, and it is unique because, again, Adam Port does like to recruit youngsters and guys who need second chances, and Pat Miller is a 31-year-old veteran, but Taj McCall was the one who said, look, I think he'd be a great fit for us, and he's really happy out here. He's got a young family, he's got a family of 3, and obviously Taj McCall's now is a new dad as well, and he's really happy. He said that when his kids first went off to school up in Cairns, he said they were just so excited. He just felt like this was a place. He can't look too far in the future, but he said if he had to settle down here, then he couldn't be happier.
They do a lot together, obviously, but they don't lift weights together by the looks of it.
He apparently doesn't lift. Now, Ryan Brockhoff played with him overseas, and he can't lift because it gets too big.
You had that problem too, didn't you, Pete?
Yep. I've not broken a sweat in 3 years. When did you last break a sweat? 20 minutes ago.
It's a global game for Patrick Miller. He's played in 9 different countries, travelled around the world. Most recently in Germany, where he averaged 18.6 assists and near 40% from deep. He can get it done. He's got a great CV, and terrific to have him in the Hungry Jacks NBL. And speaking of terrific, how about the Indigenous jerseys that the Cairns Taipans have rolled out here in this game? Designed by Dale Oliver, an artist from the rainforest region up in far north Queensland. If they look great, well, that's because he's a very talented man, the late John Denver. The Disney CEO, Michael Eisner, commissioned his work. And it's design on the jerseys that they're wearing is actually based on an original artwork that he's done for the club. So fantastic to see the Indigenous artists getting behind the clubs, and that is a terrific. In fact, I think the Taipans probably win this every year.
Well,
that's elite.
That should be their just alternate jersey. I know a couple of I mean, we talk about it all the time, about the Indigenous jersey staying all the time, but as just an alternate jersey to have, if you're feeling like that's the one for the weekend, they should have it throughout the entire season.
Here's McCall once more. He's got another 2 into double figures. He has 11 to lead all scorers.
Just a cagey score. He doesn't care that he's shooting 0%, although he did hit a 3 already. But Marcus Lee, he doesn't quite know how to guard that position.
That's what I mean. It is funky. It is that chess game from Scott Roth. You can have the advantage down this end with Marcus Lee if you can get him in the right position, but that defense is pretty stifling right now.
Oh, McCall with Crawford to beat like his chances. Now he's up to 13 on 6 of 8 from the field. Margin has been cut to 7. Timeout called, 4:57 left on the clock here. In fact, the margin now at 5.
Just causing all sorts of problems. The ability to switch. They're all athletic. They're all long. They can get out on the break, and if you turn the ball over against the Taipans, they're off and gone.
Haven't seen a lot of Will Magnay so far today, but what we saw on Thursday night was spectacular, and Scott Roth spoke about that pre-game.
Well, in general, he's putting a lot of work in, so his conditioning is way behind, and so probably 15 minutes is probably around his max of where he is just conditioning-wise. He has no limitations on him other than just getting his playing legs underneath him. So obviously he was very, very good our last game, and we'll see what we can do. This is a short turnaround for him, and we probably won't play him as many minutes tonight.
He came in underdone after suffering a foot injury in Spain, and he played during the off-season, but it's his 7th year in the NBL. Will Magnay, of course, did play that one game in the NBA as well. We still haven't seen the best of him, and his sort of high watermark, well, it is certainly worth waiting for. And Joe Healy, I know you're a big fan of Will Magnay as well.
I certainly am. I got a chance to speak to him before the game. He was pretty relaxed. He said he's a little bit banged up, but he did admit that he's loving being back out there on the court, and he was also full of praise for Milton Doyle for making him look good. He said, Milton always finds me in the right spot, so it makes my life easy. He does all the work.
I most enjoyed about Will Magnay's game on Thursday night was the aggression that he showed and wanted to talk all things as well. He had Mango Mathiang at one stage after he blocked his shot. And the best part of that was post-game they embraced and had a chat about it. So it was like, yeah, you got me that time, but I'll be looking out for you next time.
Appreciated the competition. He gets it. Listen, you know, guys can battle on the court, and then after the game, that's what it used to be like in the old days. Case after the game, you just shake hands, have a beer. But we would have been happy that he just got through a game and proved to the league that he's still capable of big numbers like that.
And again, you hear that he's banged up. It's no surprise. It's probably a bit of a blessing in disguise in terms of how long the season is, that they're playing a team without that kind of impactful centre in that position, so he doesn't have to play a heap. I don't think we're going to see him a whole much because of the way that the Taipans are throwing out that lineup. They do come back after the free to break and play against the 36ers, so that's an opportunity against the likes of Isaac Humphries.
Crawford now none of 2 from long range, but has 7 points, and overall the JackJumpers 6 of 10 from deep. Cairns 1 of 4 full foul. Hands over, Armstrong. Now Wardenberg. Back to Armstrong with single digits on the shot clock against Crawford. Takes him down low to the baseline. And contact and foul going to be called here on Crawford, his second personal.
Is Scott Roth going to realistically and seriously leave Milton Doyle off for the entire first half?
I told you. You literally, he looked at me, Case, and he laughed at me. He didn't think I was telling the truth.
I laughed out loud. I can't believe it.
Right now, his teammates are getting it done, and Milton Doyle's the type of player that's happy to sit there as long as the things are going along okay.
Are you though, Case? Are you?
Well, he makes a very good...
I'm shocked that he hasn't come in this second quarter. I did speak about how this is not new for Scott Roth, but he hasn't got 3. 3 is normally in the first 20 minutes. If you pick up a third, you're going to sit for the entire half. 2, I thought he's going to get back out there, and I thought it would have been to start the second. Here's Pat Miller. You've seen that clip of Shaquille O'Neal when he's going to dive and they clean the bench. I'd be cleaning the bench with that offensive lineman running into me as well.
Take 3 of them to hold him up.
Started this quarter with Tassie up 7. We've played just over 6 minutes and they're again up 7. Needs to get back to within 2. Here's McDonald being good. It's almost unsportsmanlike reaching in there, grabbing of the arm.
Good job by Shawnee Mack attacking the closeout. They get them all scrambling. Sometimes guys panic a little bit and think they need to just jack up a 3 when you can just attack the paint.
So 3 fouls now on Taron Armstrong after he had 2 in that opening quarter. This is Crawford against McCall. Just to take him on. Head and shoulders beyond, and Glass couldn't convert. This ball now spins out of court. A little confusion about who touched it last. James Griggle couldn't decide, went to the possession arrow, and it's going to be a Tassie ball. It's been so efficient from the JackJumpers. 54% from the field, 60% from deep. With the rebound count, 15-8. They just got things on their terms here, and they set the standard early.
They don't take bad shots. They're going to normally shoot a good percentage for the most part because they don't have any of those wild cowboys just come down and just blaze away and take bad shots. If anybody steps out of line, Pete, Scott will quickly show you to the bench.
Sure will. And he's not afraid to throw it out, playing 11 players in the first quarter. He's not afraid to go deep into the bench. And what they do better than most teams in the competitions, execute. And when I say execute, not just running plays, but it's setting every single screen. It's sprinting every single cut. Black Mayer down the other end. And that's probably 4 or 5 points this game that they've managed to score immediately after Tasmania have scored. That's not what Scott Roth is trying to get at this year. He knows their defense cannot afford to leak points like that after they manage to score.
Fake fires unsuccessfully. Miller with the rebound. Off to McCall. He wants to play up tempo here. Wardenberg. Skip pass. Down to the baseline with the left hand, and the finish as well from Black Mayer. Chance at a 3-point play.
No, that's going to be a sub for big Marcus Lee as we look at the replay here. Nice little back cut, shuffle cut, sorry. Jack gets a nice little easy too, but then in transition.
Just can't happen.
Marcus tries to take the flop instead of just being 7 foot and trying to beat it against the glass. Bad closeout. Lack gets another layup in the foul. This is a styles make fights game. You want to have a big rim protector, 7 foot on the floor. Well, damn it, I'm going to make you guard this mobile 6'7" guy. You're going to see whose will can be imposed.
That's why Kruzovic's come into this game and not Will Magnay for that exact reason. But I think Scott Roth's saying, okay, offensively, we're not really taking advantage of having Marcus Lee or Magnay out there in that mismatch, so I can afford to play an undersized big, but we're getting exposed on the other end, so I'm going to try and limit that.
Back to Crawford. 10 on the shot clock. In this match with Wardenberg. On offer. McVeigh.
To get a one-leg
busy.
Wow.
And a foot violation going to be called here.
All right, now that one-on-one move is not the one you want to teach kids. Good job by Sam. He guarded everybody here. Jack tried to give him the whoop, tried to take it.
Oh. It's 5 turnovers in this quarter now for the JackJumpers.
We were 3 seconds away from a one-legged three. I wanted to see it. I'm not sure they touched his foot. Oh, we want that one back. Did a little hard work.
Crawford, feet inside. And McVeigh strong with it. Comes up with the 2.
Good pass. Cairns are one of the few teams, Pete, that will just come down and punish a mismatch. Look at Taj. Wherever Jordan Crawford's guarding, they'll just take one look at it and go down to the block.
That's a much-needed knockdown.
Gets one to go.
Much-needed knockdown for Sam. You're spot on. The way they like to play, the way they're drilled under this style of play is if there's a mismatch, they have the complete green light to try and explore.
Second 3 of the game for the Taipans. McCall has the other. It's Krislovic muscling his way in from close range. Can't convert. And a chance for the Taipans. Just to edge a little closer here. Miller put his foot on the accelerator. Got it done! Chance at a 3-point play. Now that's aggressive and very effective.
Well, you're going to try and foul him. You have to do a lot more. Here's Sam Wardenberg. Catching it in rhythm. Knocking it down. That would feel good. And then Pat Miller, he got fouled 8 times on that and still good enough, still strong enough.
Even though Pat Miller is not going to come down in transition and shoot that 3 ball, his hezzy was so believable that Anthony Drimmick bought it. Came out of the stance, Pat got to the hoop, gets the and 1. And they looking at going into the half with the lead.
It's been a tremendous last 2 minutes for the Cairns Taipans, where they've outscored the JackJumpers here 11-2, and they're back on level terms.
Is Milton Doyle still in Queensland?
I was going to say it's going to be a talking point, because I understand maybe sitting him in that first quarter. He only played the 3 minutes, picking up 2 fouls. I thought for sure he was going to start the second quarter, but no, he's just sat down this entire first half after picking up the first 2.
McDonald against Wardenberg needs help. Over here, I'm Majuk Deng. He's short on the front of the rim, and a chance for the Taipans to retake the lead here. They were down 9 with 3.5 left on the clock. And a foul called on Crawford.
Smart by Bull Call. He ran straight to the front of the rim. Got the mismatch. That's the only thing about the Jordan. Most teams' case, though, they so equal opportunities, so get a ball from side to side. A guy like Jordan can play 8-9 games without ever getting posted up. Whereas Cairns are not going to let you get away with that.
3rd foul now for Jordan Crawford, so he'll have to sit down. JackJumpers have picked up 8 fouls in this quarter.
Well, it makes you think that maybe there is something a little more to the Milton Doyle, because Jordan Crawford had 2 fouls and was still out there. Milton Doyle sits down with 3. Have another look. You're right. There's one thing Cairns will do. It doesn't matter how early it is in the shot clock. There is a mismatch. They're allowed to just go after it. They do not care. They're trying to beat teams up and down the floor on both ends. And they're in front.
13 points to 2 is the run here in the last 2.5 minutes. JackJumpers look like they were cruising. They led by 9. Full credit to the Cairns Taipans, because they've been able to find a way back into the game. Single digits on the shot clock once more for the JackJumpers. Whistle on the play as well.
That is enough, Scott. That's your warning.
There you go. There's a warning from Scott Roth. He's not happy with things down his end.
Warning as well. Okay.
Fucking coward. Cowards.
3rd foul on Lat Mayan. Taron Armstrong already sitting down with 3 fouls.
That's a close. You don't chat that.
You rucking Soward.
Straight up for the JackJumpers. They need some offense. McDonald hands over to Steindl. The microwave. He can't connect. Almost had his own rebound. In fact, did snatch it back. And McDonald resets here.
What we going with the ball right here, Pete? Who's going to score?
Yeah, look. Right now they're getting nothing, are they? They're in this little zone, and they're going to end up turning it over.
8 turnovers now in the game for the JackJumpers, who average just 11 a game. second best in the competition, so they're out of their depth.
And this is what teams who come and play Cairns are going to have to try and figure out. We saw Keanu Pinder wasn't as effective as he normally is against Cairns because they're playing this unique style without a back-to-the-basket big. Sam Wardenberg spends more time in the three-point line than he does under the basket, and he's their starting five-man. And the other four on the floor to start the game are point guards. Full close, love. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You get where I'm going with it.
The Taipans have snatched all the momentum away from the JackJumpers, who led by 10 in the opening quarter and by as many as 9 here with 3:20 on the clock. The Taipans by 2 with possession. Miller, aggressive once more down low. Well, just slipped, but was fouled in the process, so he'll go to the free throw line.
Non-shooters are getting downhill with ease, and this will be driving Scott Roth nuts. But Scott said in his press conference, the league has much more talent in it, and it's harder to stop all these guys. He gets a ball screen, he goes to Majuk. Majuk does not come out and show properly, Pete. He opened up the door a little bit, so of course Pat's going to keep going.
It ended up being a switch, but my biggest thing is right there. That screen was set so high from Sam Wardenberg. Patrick Miller shoots 20% from 3. I know you're trying to switch, it's late clock, but surely you're just going to, if you're Majuk Deng, you just squeeze that up and tell Sean McDonald to get underneath it. If they reset the screen, if they rescreen, then you fight over, but tempt them to shoot three. We highlighted how they struggled to shoot the 3 ball coming into this game all season long, and they're just refusing to try and tempt them to shoot.
After having some shooting woes from the free throw line, they've corrected those. They've corrected a lot of things here in the last 3 minutes of this second quarter. And the JackJumpers, Miss McDonald did that well, broke it down and gets a score right on the buzzer. And they were desperate for that because it was all the Taipans, but right on the halftime buzzer, it is the JackJumpers who are able to get the score and close that margin to 2.
Here's my hands in the air saying, why are they taking so long? But again, they executed this to perfection. The screen was there. This is a set play.
What was AK Gak doing though? Like he just standing back there. Whatever.
Well, let's get some reaction courtside with Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Bull Cole with me. Bull, offense has been a big focus for you guys. How do you assess that half, putting 44 points on the board?
I think defense comes first for us. Offensively, we're getting better, but defensively there we have patches where we let up some easy points.
Bit of a slow start. How do you tighten that up in the second half and push away with this?
Just continue to communicate, trust each other, and move the ball.
Good luck for it.
Yes, sir.
Well, they've done a great job so far, the Taipans. After being down 10, they lead at half-time, and we'll now hear from Adam Ford and the relationship he built with Taron Armstrong that saw that young gun head to Cairns.
Yeah, super aggressive early on and trying to do it subtly too, so we didn't alert any other clubs to it, because it was an interview that his brother did, Trey, for Win News, that I came across, where he made a comment at the end that
there's plenty of stuff up in the air for him, but I know for a fact that he's interested in the NBL, absolutely.
And so that set off a chain reaction.
If you know the rest of the songs, please don't sing along. Just kidding.
Yeah, super aggressive early on and trying to do it subtly too, so we didn't alert any other clubs to it, because it was an interview that his brother did, Trey, for Win News, that I came across, where he made a comment at the end that
there's plenty of stuff up in the air for him, but I know for a fact that he's interested in the NBL, absolutely.
And so that set off a chain reaction where, you know, the first big piece being is that we didn't take up Ben Air's option. You know, we run the risk, right, of losing not only Ben Air, but not getting Taran, and then we're sort of back to square zero. That's the risk you run when you can, because we don't have the budget. So if you play it safe, we're going to be a bottom of the level table team, getting everybody's BC list options, or we can roll the dice and have a crack at easily and arguably the most talented Australian point guard in the league this year. I thought I was having a losing battle. You know, the days turned into weeks, and, you know, trying to set up meetings and talks with the agent, and even like subtle correspondence with Taran, and he's keeping his cards close to his chest. And then I think it was Easter weekend, I get a call from Moldovan, who says he's heard through the grapevine, through Josh Giddey, who represents, that Taran's keen to play, and, you know, do I want to set up a phone call with him? Yeah, I do.
He just told me how it is. You know, he explained the play style, and as I got more familiar with Cairns, and the fit was just perfect. You know, it's playing basketball. It's fast paced. It's read and react, and I think that's where I'm best. So, you know, I think it was the best place to put myself for me to be the most successful.
And then it happened pretty quick. Zoom presentation became contract talks, and now he's here, and he's absolutely kicking butt for us.
Full credit to Adam Ford for getting that job done, and Taran Armstrong, 8 points, 5 rebounds on average, is having a building season. At the moment, 2 points, 3 fouls. Got his problems, but certainly the Taipans will be happy with the equation, Damon.
The Taipans are right where they want to be. First, they got a lead. Second, they shooting 58% from the field, and what's beautiful about it is they only got 3 turnovers for the half. They're taking care of the ball. That means they're getting shots up. Yes, this might not be pretty from the perimeter, but it doesn't need to be. The Taipans are going to jump up a little bit on defense and really confuse teams, so they're right where they want to be.
Yeah, as we can tell from the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights right now, that's exactly what it is. The 3 turnovers is huge. This team, if they turn the ball over too much, they shoot themselves in the foot like they did the other night. They had 19 turnovers against Perth, and ultimately they lost that game. If they're getting a shot down the floor nearly every single time, and their defense locks in and gets enough stops like they did in that second quarter, that's when they're up and about. That's why they went on that run, and that's why they have a lead coming into halftime. So you look at it there, they've just taken 5 threes as well. And again, that's not a surprise. Obviously, Lat May and Bull Cole, they're going to probably take more than the rest, and everyone else is struggling to shoot from out there. They are getting out-rebounded, but they're doing enough to get it done.
And what about the numbers there in that second quarter isolated alone? Because they were struggling in the opening quarter. They went 10 of 14 from the field in the second term, 1 of 1 from deep, 6 of 6 from the stripe after being 2 of 6 in the opening quarter. So now Tajir McCall has set the table for them, because he burst out of the blocks and really set the tempo, had 7 of his 13 in the opening quarter.
As we said earlier, he is the emotional barometer for this team. And he also heard Pete Hooley talking crap that he couldn't shoot threes, and he let one of those fly and hit it. But Taj is going to get to the rim, and Taj is going to impose his will on the game. He's just a winner. I don't know what position he is still. This is his second season in the league, and I still don't know what position he plays.
Sure, he does.
He's a great basketball player. He's cagey around the basket. He knows how to score, and he's a proven leader.
Now I'm talking smack cake for highlighting a 0%. He highlights himself, but this is where he's at his best. Besides that 3, all of his points have really come either from the free throw line or out in transition. Even when the defense is set, if you don't pick him up and let him get ahead of steam, he's going to get downhill, and as you can see from his Blackmore shot chart, those 4 green dots inside the key are transition buckets. Even if there's a body in front, he's going to spin, he's going to get up in the air, and once he's already elevated, you're going to have to foul him and send him to the free throw line.
Yeah, good numbers there. He has the only 2 steals of the game, and the best number, 0 turnovers for McCall at halftime as well. So we've got a good one going here. 2-point lead for the Taipans, 44-42. More for you here on your Saturday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL in just a moment.
title partner Hungry Jacks, as well as major partners Chemist Warehouse, Mitsubishi, Sportsbet, Blackballs, Kmart, Amy and Bunnings Warehouse for their support of the 2023-2024 NBL season. Don't forget to join the team at the Casino Sports Arena upstairs in the Marina Del Casino with a post-game party. It's your chance to make the players start with some great prizes. Your role is to train these children respectively as a pilot. You need the other games to remind us who we truly are. It's just
Cairns Convention Centre is the host of the first of our two games in the Hungry Jacks NBL here on a Saturday night to follow Brisbane against Perth. But right now, after the JackJumpers led by 10 in the opening quarter and by 9 in the second, it's Cairns on top by 2. And Milton Doyle with 2 quick fouls early in the game hasn't seen a lot of time.
What is, I don't even know what I'm looking at. A 0, 0, and a 1. That is, if you thought Scott Roth was not serious, if you thought he had no conviction in what his message is, he's sending a message loud and clear to Milton Doyle that you're going to have to do a better job.
So you mentioned this before we came back on air. Not the fact that he had the 2 fouls, but the way he got the 2 fouls, you think is what made him sit for the first whole 20 minutes?
That's what I think. I think that Scott Roth has had a message saying, this is how we're going to play. This is not the Jackie way. You went out there sloppy for whatever reason, picked up 2 sloppy ones. Now you sit to learn.
And I remember that happening in the year 1 of the JackJumpers with Josh Adams a little bit as well. And Joe Healy, you can speak to it as well.
Well, I think Damon is on the ball there. I asked the club at halftime. They said the only reason that he sat for most of that opening half is because of the foul trouble. So back out there now. We'll see how he goes. Listening into Scott Roth there just as they came out, he said, guys, we've got 8 turnovers, 3 or 4 of them unnecessary, so take more care of the ball as well.
I think to keep an eye on as this season progresses. That's a great pass from Jordan Crawford. Jumper Bay. That was nice and simple. A little flop warning coming, it seems. Will Magnay, since he's come back in, starts the second half. And there we go, quick technical foul. So, Adam Ford was not happy with... I don't think he was upset with the no call, the no charge being given. I think he wasn't happy with the fact that it was a flop warning. So having a look here, Ball Qual obviously steps up to take this one from...
I think he went down a little too easily.
Yeah, I think he did too. I don't think it's a horrible flop warning. If we want to eradicate flopping, I think you've got to start to give some warnings or to try at that.
But if you're going to waste a tech like on that, you know, 35 seconds into the third quarter,
you think you need a little bit, more?
Yeah, get bang for a buck at least.
Scott Roth tried to get some bang for his buck in the second quarter.
It's back-to-back games for Tex for 40.
Fine jar.
At least.
Yeah, fine jar.
So the first 3 points of the second half, but the JackJumpers back on top here. The ball hands over to Miller. Two-man game. Great friends, great connection.
And this is why you think there's 19 minutes left in this game. How much are they going to play with Magnay or Lee out there? Because the way they're playing, that was Tajir McCall pick and rolling. That doesn't help Magnay or Marcus Lee with his speed and the ability to roll quick.
Here's Doyle, overdue, and opens his scoring account.
Okay, stand by for the Milton Doyle second half explosion.
So Tajir McCall was saying, Tajir McCall saying that Will Magnay's
I hear what you're
flopping.
saying. Okay, I'm not letting this escalate.
Keep an eye on the bottom of your screen, saying you heard the referee saying that you can't just face him and shove him.
So McCall picks up his first personal. JackJumpers on top again as Doyle lobs it down low. They go back to Magnay against Bull Quall, and he lost control of the ball in traffic, and now a foul going to be called on Milton Doyle. It's going to be his third personal. Crawford already out there with 3 fouls.
You've got to keep him out there.
Doyle might as well go to the airport, because you ain't playing no more. If the first half is anything to go by, we checked the replay. I mean, you in no man's land right there in transition. That was always going to be a foul. But Pete, to your point about Tajir playing center on offense, you got to punish him on defense. But I don't want to be posting up Will Magnay 10 feet away from the basket. Go down deep, make Tajir play post defense. Well, that's what they're not doing.
Will Magnay was exceptional the other night, but you look through when he's been at full strength. Same with Marcus Lee. They're not really high volume guys to throw it in back to the basket on the block. It's like, where are you going to see the mismatch? It's going to be either pick and rolling, or when he gets the ball, he's already in the charge circle, and all he's going to do is take a dribble or just go up with it. So I think we're going to get closer and closer within the next couple of minutes where Krizovic is going to come back in, and they're just going to have to match the small guard play of Cairns.
90 seconds done in the third here. Single point the difference. These teams have met 7 times. 5 times it's been decided by single numbers, and we're heading in that direction again here as McVeigh is being efficient. Comes up empty there. Now 5 of 7 from the field. It's 14 is the most for Tassie at the moment. Wardenberg bounce pass from close range. Getting it done there. Taron Armstrong.
Need to see this replay, because Taron Armstrong might have just gotten rid of Jordan.
Yeah, that's just a little screen, and Jordan Crawford was already sitting down at that time.
And that's just an unnecessary foul by Will. Fouls are too precious these days. Everybody talks about this whistle, and everybody's being all sensitive about getting in foul trouble. There's 5 fouls in a game. You got to figure 1 foul is going to be absolute garbage. You're going to get screwed. Another foul is going to be an accident. You know, stuff just happens. So you really got 3 fouls to play with. You got to be smart with them.
Do you want to go to 6 fouls like the NBA?
6 fouls and give me another 8 minutes, Case.
Well, if we're not going to do that, I don't mind the idea of, you just got to be, you're right, you just got to be smarter with when, and we saw it on Thursday night with Bull Quall, like, you just can't put yourself in certain situations. Like with Milton Doyle right now, you've already had, that last one was, unfortunately, it was in transition, as Pat Miller knocks that one down. So you've just got to play really solid, and if anyone comes in, you put your hands up and not get yourself in trouble.
Efficient start to the second half. Both teams 3 or 4 from the field. This is Doyle wheeling and dealing. Couldn't complete it. Cole with the loose ball. 2.5 minutes played in this term. Wardenberg steps inside the 3-point line. Mid-range off the mark.
Tajir with another great ball screen. When it's time to start picking all NBL teams, you might have to look at Taj in the interior.
First block of the game for Cairns.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure how that works.
Doyle takes on Wardenberg, attracted the attention, and that left man low open, and Magnay comes up with a finish.
Doyle is starting to make some things happen offensively. But even that, just try and go for a steal.
First score of the game for Will Magnay in the previous bucket. This is Miller, shot clock to single numbers. Turns right to the top of Magnay. He's got 12 now on 4 of 7 from the field.
Pat Miller ain't shooting a great percentage from deep water, but when you get him inside that 3-point line, he's highly efficient.
And the best part about that is he hasn't taken a 3 tonight. He knows he can get it done. Quite an arm wrestle developing here. The outside shot wouldn't work for Magnay, and Wardenberg being called for the foul now.
First personal on Sam Wardenberg.
And Adam Ford knows he has to be careful because he picked up the tech already a couple minutes ago. And having a quick look at this as a coaching staff, keep another eye on this.
Oh, it's soft. That's a soft call.
You're right, because even if they do want to challenge, you're going to lose it, aren't you? Because it's that right there, you can't. But I'm okay with that one being let go. I think there's been just a little extracurricular from everybody right now, which is making it hard for the referees.
But just because that soft call comes your way, you can't absolutely lose the plot over it, though. Stay in the game.
You have been very big on that with Sam Wardenberg. A call or a missed shot that kind of takes him out of it.
Outside shot on cue. Pat Miller knocks it down. He's rolling now.
Pat Miller in your presidency?
Nah, I need verification if he's over 6 foot.
Twice, I did.
Great contest going here, and Trimmick continues that theme. 2 of 2 from the field now for his 4 points. First score since the opening quarter. Great tug-of-war going on between these two at the moment. They were semi-finalists last season in the Hungry Jacks at NBL. It's 7th versus 3rd on the ladder at the moment. The JackJumpers top 3. And they are trailing. Good for a good majority of the game, though. Crawford found Trimmick, shut down by Bull Quall. And now Taipans right in front of the bench, and Adam Ford's
This is the dilemma for Scott Roth. This is a style, Pete, that he is not used to coaching. He's more of the slow it down, grind it out, make it kind of ugly and muddy, whereas he's got some high-octane guys right now, and he's watching this game go up and down. This is Cairns Taipan style. This is not the Jackie Wade.
Well, they've got Will Magnay going to Jim McCall, and there you go, gets one up there.
Will ain't having none of that foolishness.
That's world-class defense there from Will Magnay. They've let Doyle open. He makes them pay. 2 of 3 from the field, Milton Doyle, his first triple. So he has 5 points, and Tassie back on top. Entertaining affair. Trust you're enjoying our coverage around Australia and beyond here. Saturday night of the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Right, man, you just got to go up with that. As soon as you brought it down, you'll have to get a hands on it. And there's a quick timeout coming.
McVeigh knocks down another. So he's got 19 points on the game. The Harvey Norman replay of Will Magnay's defense against Tajir McCall.
That is exactly where he can have the advantage. Just going up and being a rim protector, and then Jack McVeigh walking into this transition 3. As you said, Case, 19 points. He's feeling really good out there.
Don't forget about the post D that Jordan Crawford played down there, and they tried to manhandle him. He fought like a little bitty dude, little feisty dude. He fought, got the steal, which led to the break in the Jack McVeigh 3. Don't forget about that, Pete.
We're not forgetting. We love that from you, Damon Lowry. Snooze timeout, and the last 8 points of the game have been scored here by the JackJumpers. A little later tonight, it's Brisbane against Perth. Good contest, this one. Bullets likely to roll out an All-Australian starting 5. And the Perth Wildcats, impressive against Cairns, winning 88-80 on Thursday night. Have won 4 in a row. And Bryce Cotton is back. Not that he went too far away, but he's averaging 29 in his last 4 games. His first 7 games of the season, he averaged 13, so he has really found some rhythm.
Yeah, that's danger signs when Bryce Cotton gets in this mood. Looking forward to that one.
Of course, tomorrow, New Zealand host Illawarra, and Melbourne against Sydney as well. 1v2. This time this season is going to be, many people suggest perhaps a grand final preview. A little too far out from that for me to...
Hey, we allowed to go with the big calls early on?
Why not?
Why not?
You're dressed. Let's go.
The big calls, mate. Big calls.
Sydney, although, yes, there could be a grand final preview, but Sydney can't beat Tasmania. Nor Cairns, for that matter, so who knows?
Nor Melbourne, for that matter. Tassie came from 13 down in the 4th quarter to beat Melbourne on their home floor in round 2. That's how tight the Hungry Jacks NBL is. Every moment matters. But right now, the JackJumpers on an 8-0 run and grab the attention of the Taipans, so we've got some work to do. Red numbers on the shot clock for Bull Quall. The turnaround wouldn't work, and Magnay's certainly having an impact.
You can hear Adam Ford before the timeout. They brought the ball to the floor, and he was trying to say hunt out Milt. They're trying to get Milton Doyle's 4th foul, so they set up a play to get him back to the basket against Bull Quall and potentially call for a foul, but Bull Quall's going to at least make him have to defend.
Here's
that
Doyle.
is their game.
Couldn't get it done. Offensive rebound for Magnay, stripped of it. Important defensive play there from the Cairns Taipans. As McCall
Floats into the key and adds 2 to his tally. 17 on 8 of 11 from the field.
The most opportunistic man in transition in that secondary break after a stop to Tajir McCall. You have got to find him early because he's just too crafty.
And the arm wrestle continues here. It's time from outside Snyder off the mark. Full foul, snatches the rebound. 25-15. Tassie lead the rebound count at the moment. Dominated the boards right from the start. McCall, what a play! Hook away pass to his good friend Miller down on the baseline for 2 more.
Well, this is a worry here for Will Magnay. He looks, I think he copped one to the head. And he looks in all sorts.
He threw the pass and hit him in the face. Completely incidental. Just careful on that rebound.
Oh, right going right in the eye.
Really poked in the eye.
I heard the referee say completely accidental, but he looks really shaky right now. This is not good because he's had a good couple of minutes here in the third quarter.
He's had a good couple of games. We don't need him back on the shelf.
But even that one right there, you talk about Tasmania's defense not being where it needs to be in last. In particular, their transition defense is getting exposed week in and week out, especially right now for the Taipans.
Doyle hung in the air for an eternity. Couldn't finish it off, though. Chance for the Taipans to add to their tally. With Mayan. Top of the key, active hands. Well done, Doyle. Read the pass, slapped it down. 2-on-1 fast break. McDonald made room for the shot, and it made that look easier than it was. He's into double figures on 4 of 4 shooting.
Very unassuming player, Shawnee Mack. Just does all the right things. You can tell that Scott Roth has the utmost trust in Shawnee Mack.
This has been a great contributor for the JackJumpers, and Milton Doyle having an influence as we're a little disappointed. But as you can see, Will Magnay being ushered to the change rooms for the Tassie JackJumpers.
Joe Healy's going to be all over that. Have a look at this here. I know it looked like a poke in the eye, but there seems to be like... It looks like it could be something more like concussion worry, right? And Pat Miller's strong. It might have just been the perfect hit. Where it got on that angle there, it kind of looked a little bit more...
No, he got scratched on the... Yeah, they're looking at the eye more than the head, which is great.
Well, Miller had it roll around the rim and jump out. Sean McDonald, of course, was 3rd in the most improved player of the year last season, and he continues to build, having quite the influence here. JackJumpers by 2. Doyle fires off the mark.
Sorry, Case. I like to see Tassie run actual stuff for Milton instead of just put him on an island and let him just go to work one-on-one.
Good defensive pressure there from Tassie, but it's unrewarded. Marcus Lee lost the handle on it, and making pay as well. Cairns back on top here, 90 seconds out from three-quarter time.
This might be one of those games, Pete, that we just can't play Marcus Lee. I mean, unless we're going to make him a focal point 6 inches from the basket, he might not be able to play.
And that's what we've seen from Will Magnay, where he did have success. But right here, Paul Quayle just dancing with it. And look, it's pretty well defended, no doubt. But what are you getting from him on the other end? And this isn't a game where Cairns can do this for pretty much every team around the league. You think about the dominant bigs, it's probably the game when they come up against Melbourne United, where now that Joe Luala-Chul is Joe Luala-Chul again, you can't do it. It's the one where you've got an offensive weapon, an offensive beast in that 5 spot. Because right now, they're just getting exposed in that department. There you go. Cairns Doctor helping out, which is always nice to see. Just had his eye flushed with some saline, some more reports, and hopefully it's all right. Remember earlier in the season, exact same spot, Tyler Cook for the Phoenix.
And prior to that, last season, it was Tinder who was injured, and that's why he's wearing the mask at the moment with that fracture in the cheekbone, or the orbital fracture around the eye. I know Tinder when he was with Cairns. So we'll keep you updated with information as we can. But the Taipans are back on top here by 3. A good fight back. 9-2 is the run for them in the last 3 minutes.
Good pass, Shawnee Mack.
You keep that every single time you want that from Clint Steindl. Misses one, gets it straight back. You expect him to make the necessary adjustments. 0 for 2 in the same possession, but don't see that too often.
Armstrong isolated against Majukding. Down low, nothing on offer, needs help. His Bull Qual working the baseline.
Just hit one from here.
Shot clock to red numbers. He takes on his former teammate. Couldn't finish it. Marcus Lee grabs the rebound. The second of the game. Just 2 points for Marcus Lee on 1 of 3 shooting as well.
Right now, the JackJumpers have been sucked into playing Kansas style. And right there, Marcus has got Tarrant on him. They missed him.
Junior Majuk down to the baseline. You heard Adam Ford wanting a violation called. Goes unwhistled. The Cairns have got it back, and the shot clock 2 seconds inside the game clock. Heading toward three-quarter time. We started this quarter with Cairns on top by 2. One stage, JackJumpers led by 4. Right now, it's the Taipans in the driver's seat. Shot clock to red numbers in the corner, and knocking down first points of the game. For Sam Menenga. He can stroke it. Good finish to the third quarter from the Taipans. They close it out strong. They went with a 12-2 run in the last 2.5 minutes to take a 6-point lead into the fourth quarter. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL. Business End coming up next.
Check out the big screen, guys. We got Taipans. What's the price?
That $50 gift card is up for grabs.
All right, so do you think this water bottle is $3.50? What's your dribble? If you think it's $5, show us a dunk. $3.50? $5. What do you reckon? Oh, looks like he's doing the work. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? $3.50. Yes, guess what? You want a $50 gift card? Let's go! I'm gonna get some stuff. Gonna get some stuff. Favorite player, favorite player.
Don't know.
Don't know. What about favorite team?
Which one you guys gonna shoot? Just Noah Bull Qual.
Welcome back to the Cairns Convention Centre in the third quarter. Will Magnay has taken a shot to the head in incidental contact from Patrick Miller and has been assessed by the doctor. Perhaps a concussion, certainly some work being done with the eye. Joe Healy is courtside for us, can bring us up to with the latest.
Yeah, thanks. So I was just speaking to the JackJumpers. They're going to give Will Magnay a little bit of time. It seems to just be an eye. It's not concussion. They did a bit of a pressure test around the area. He seems okay, but his vision is still a little bit blurred, so they're going to play this one out and see.
Thanks very much, Joe Healy, courtside for us. 12-2 run into the third quarter from Cairns and make that 14-2 now as they expand the margin to their biggest lead of the game.
The mid-range J is not dead. It is not a bad shot, and Patrick Miller's met in Australia. Know that he's got that in his arsenal.
19 in the game now for Miller. He joins Jack McVeigh as the game high scorer. Here's Doyle, set for most of the first half after picking up 2 fouls in the opening quarter. They need his offense now, and he comes up with a tough shot.
Yeah, Case, I know you're not huge on the plus-minus, but we're seeing a little bit of why it's important in this one right now. So Will Magnay is a +9 in his minutes out there. He looked great in that third quarter, and everyone else is in the negative other than Jack McVeigh, who's +3. So this right now is the time. I know that he's got to rest, or he's got to figure out with the eye, but look at that, is a straight line drive. After three-quarter time, where no doubt Scott Roth is trying to say we need to be better defensively, they've given up 71 points. This is a team in the first 2 seasons who averaged about 81, 82 points against. I think their first season was 79. They're just not at that level right now.
Shot clock rolls to 5 for Doyle. Working against Meninga in a mismatch. Kicks outside. Majuk Deng against his former team. Caught it deep.
You run the ball screen for Milton Doyle. They switch. Marcus Lee now have Taron Armstrong on him, and Marcus is not in his personality to demand the ball. So he just happened just to get out of the way, and then we got to watch Milton go one-on-one into the teeth of the defense.
But you're right, he's not even rolling to sit underneath. He should be, once he gets Taron Armstrong on him, he should roll to the Mitsubishi Motors, those 3 red marks, get the ball thrown up to him and dunk it.
Come unstuck again. Oh, the JackJumpers, and a chance for Cairns here to build on an 8-point advantage. Armstrong gets it back from Wardenberg, so they can reset here. Shot clock to single digits. Armstrong firing from deep. Didn't work for him though. 1 of 2 from long range, 1 of 4 coming in on the season.
Well, Magnay and Crawford are about to check in. Krislovic was at the scorer's bench before Magnay ran up and they switched positions. So hopefully he is okay for Tasmania's sake.
Down low, Junior Madut, nothing on off with neat pass though from Madut from Lee. Back again, Majuk Deng. And now Doyle, he pulls the trigger on the 3. That's off the mark. So it's called off for them from deep at the moment. And Deng comes up empty as well.
They are smashing them on the glass. 13 offensive rebounds to Tasmania to just 3 from Cairns. 42 boards to 21.
Tassie 2 of 10 in the second half from long range as the ball trickles out of court. Taipans will restart. Here comes Magnay and Crawford checking into the game. And Junior Madut will sit down.
But this is Kansas style. They don't care. Okay, so yeah, we getting out rebounded, whatever. We get to play our style.
So no timeout is the call. We'll stay with the play here.
Shot clock should be on 7. 7 on the shot clock. No timeout.
They cancelled the timeout. So Cairns by 8, 3 minutes played in the last quarter. And just quickly back to the plus-minus. Why I don't like it is because Sean McDonald is -5 plus-minus. He's got 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting, and every time he touches it, something good happens.
I'm on you, Case. I don't know what Pete's
It's
talking
rubbish.
about.
Plus-minus. No, they all like. Great rebound from Taron Armstrong. And this is what he can bring to the table as well. Back to McCall. They've got it on their terms well and truly here, the Taipans, but can they finish and get some points? McCall in over the back of Milton Doyle. Rejected by Magnay. Well, that's the rim protection that Magnay provides. They get a stop. They need some points here. Just 2 points for them in almost 4 minutes of play in this term. Doyle from close range adds to his tally. He's now got 9.
They've missed a couple of easy ones too underneath there. They finally get one to drop. It's a much better looking lineup right now with Will Magnay in it.
Miller. Brings beyond Steiner. Kicks to McCall. Takes on Magnay. And points are going to be waved away here. McCall travels, so he's called for the turnover.
Yeah, it looked like a little pro hop. Thought he got away with it.
One thing about the way Cairns play, they'll break an egg to make an omelet. They'll take some quick shots. They'll live and die that way. As long as the style suits them, they feel like they'll get more positivity out of it than negative.
You have to break an egg to make an omelet. You have to explain that one to me.
Round 42, the hole.
So Brooke Wild called for the foul. His second personal. They've just 4 points here in 4 minutes of this last quarter of the JackJumpers. Taipans has dried up as well because they've got the same 4 points. And this arm wrestle continues. Biggest margin we've seen at any stage was Tassie by 10 in the opening quarter. 8-point edge for Cairns at the start of this last quarter. It's their biggest lead. Doyle got rid of McCall. Home fans wanted a whistle and couldn't get one. And now they've got a blocking foul called on the Taipans.
All right, if we can see that sequence again, Taj has been known to accentuate a call.
100% this is a reputation no call.
So, okay, that is a no call. But he gets up as the play continues. He's on his back. As the play continues, watch him. He's not done playing.
That's a charge.
He gets into play and had a steal.
I think they're going to challenge this.
Haven't seen a coach's challenge so far from either team. The snooze timeout has been called here. It's Cairns on top, 71-65.
I'm wondering if it certainly seemed like the timeout was called with the intent to challenge, and you're right, that is a reputation no call on Tajima call, and there's nothing in it, and we've seen the flop warning already given. I'm okay with that being a technical.
By the rule, by the letter of the law, yes, but in the spirit of the game, no.
We want to eradicate it, and this, I think, is they're going to win. Yes. I think that's a charge.
Yep, normally when you jump up the pass,
upon review, the coach's challenge is successful and the blocking foul will be changed to an offensive foul on Tasmania number 9.
So, coach's challenge was called there by Adam Ford, and he got it correct because the foul called, a blocking foul on Bullquoll, has been overturned.
And this is the only time in the entire coach's challenge, the rule book, how it all works, that you can change it to an offensive foul call. So that's exactly what's happening. If it's a hands foul, whatever, and another offensive, but when it's a block charge, this is exactly what they were challenging. Bullquoll got set, legal position. Jack McVeigh cleaned you up because, as you mentioned, Damon, when you leave your feet, you put yourself in that predicament. And great challenge from Adam Ford, and that is a correct overturn. That is where the coach's challenge can be really good.
It's going to be a third personal on Bullquoll as well, which could have had an impact on the game. Miller off the mark. Loose ball spills to Crawford. Still just 4 points for Tasmania in this quarter. We've played almost 5 minutes. As I say, Taipans just 4 points as well. And a real slugfest down the stretch here. Reminder still to come a little later. Brisbane against Perth with Milton Doyle.
Oh, this is too hard. Oh, this is too hard. We rely on individual brilliance.
Offensive foul going to be called on Milton Doyle here as well. So he picks up his 4th personal as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, Taipans will be happy with that. You can definitely feel a switch in the energy in the building, the crowd getting behind their team. Just listening in to Adam Ford there, he said, guys, we've got to crash the O-boards, look for second chance point, and look to keep the momentum for this last 5 minutes.
That was number 5 actually on Milton Doyle. He is out of the game. He fouls out for the first time this season, Milton Doyle.
And again,
huge blow.
That is a point of emphasis. NBL24, anytime you kind of fend off with the elbows, normally they're looking in the air, but it looked to be the right call. They're trying to clear some space, and there's another layup to the Taipans.
We are watching import buddies play together. Two guys that know each other very, very well. As we look at the Harvey Norman replay right here, you just watch like a wink and a nod. Hey, man, go over there. And you cut over there. I got you. These how these two guys are playing. Taj is a point center, point forward, screen setter. He's everything out there on the floor right now for the Taipans.
Well, that's a huge blow for the JackJumpers. Milton Doyle fouls out for the first time this season. And he fouled out twice last season. The last time was in the playing game in Cairns. And here are the players arriving in Brisbane for the Bullets clash against the Perth Wildcats. Bannon really starting to make some noise. Corey Webster is there, but we understand won't play because of an ankle problem. And Bryce Cotton is the man that Brisbane are going to have to try and stop. But a great matchup there between some young guns as well. Alex Saar for Perth and Zakarski for Brisbane.
Really looking forward to that clash. That's coming your way. And, of course, tomorrow, New Zealand against Illawarra and Melbourne against Sydney. First versus second as well. So a lot to look forward to. And, of course, you can unlock the ultimate fan experience this season, and it's all free through NBL Plus. NBL Plus powers up your NBL experience with access to in-depth stats, maybe plus minus, might be there, people.
I was going to say,
classic NBL moments, partner offers, and much more. Sign up for NBL Plus. It's free via the NBL app or nbl.com.au. And I mentioned Damon Lowry's free throws against the Adelaide 36ers. They still haunt the people in South Australia.
Mention it again,
enjoy it.
They're still, weirdly enough, they're still the most viewed on NBL Plus. And I just looked at the location of geography of where the views are coming from, and no surprise, the Lowry household.
Why not?
Runs 50 kilometres, comes home, watches them. Or is it more of an inspo thing at the start before you start running?
So here's Magnay. They gave him some latitude, and he adds to his tally. So just his second field goal of the game, Will Magnay.
4 points, 4 rebounds, got 2 blocks.
That is the only way to punish the Taipans the way they're playing the defense. You got to go inside and punish them.
Here's Miller, good in this one. 21 points for him. Oh, loose ball. Magnay's got it back again. So a chance for the JackJumpers here. We spoke about this pre-game as well. They are never out of the equation. And despite the fact that they've scored only 6 so far in this quarter, don't write them off just yet with a tick over 4 minutes remaining. Shot clock to single digits. McKay been good all night. This time worried out of the points by McCall. And he looks fatigued at the moment. 35 minutes on Thursday night for Jim McCall. He's up to 30 here at the moment.
I know Jack McVeigh is the scorer on the floor right now, but I don't know if that's the matchup you want to go at to Jim McCall. He's a pit bull on D.
Just the isolation play isn't really Tasmania's game. They're getting enough stops right now. They're just going to tick the scoreboard over.
Bullwild comes up empty. This is aggressive work.
Did I say that?
Comes up with another 2, so McVeigh's up to 21 to join Miller as the game high scorer.
And I don't afford it, and you're right, you heard him right there. Taj McCall looks like he needs a quick sub, or he needs to burn a timeout to get him some rest if he wants to keep him on the floor, because he looks gassed.
Here's Miller. Working on Magnay, beats McCall, shot clock down to 1. He needs to get it up quickly. Behind the back, they can't convert. So a chance for the JackJumpers. Here's Crawford in the open court. Takes on 2 of them, can't finish. He was ambitious and he came up empty.
Now that's who's missing right now in this whole equation is Jordan Crawford. Came into the game averaging 18 points a game, and he just has not even looked his aggressive self. I still feel he's unguardable.
We had that first quarter.
We had 7 in the first quarter and hasn't scored since.
Wartenberg. Back 2.
Here's Taron Armstrong. Unlikely conveyance from deep, and they've come up empty once more.
Little guards coming in. Hands flying around. Will Magnay's just got to keep that ball up. Have another look at this. No one around him, he thinks. He grabs it. As soon as he brings it down, Pat Miller's there.
We learned that a long time ago. We're not going to get the rebound, but we're just going to wait for the big man to bring it down, and then we attack like piranhas, Pete.
The JackJumpers lead this last quarter 8-6. It's low scoring, but boy, it's entertaining, and trust you're enjoying your coverage. Whether you may be watching the Hungry Jacks NBL around Australia and beyond, but another opportunity here for the JackJumpers. Down 4, down by as many as 8.
Can they trust their defense to get enough stops, because they're not ticking the scoreboard over right now?
Single digits on the shot clock. Trimmick passes a good one. Magnay flushes 2 more, and the margin's been cut to a single bucket. Timeout Cairns, 2:11 to play, and we've got one cooking here.
Jeez, Will Magnay looks good. Looks really good. Oh, look at this. He just times this cut perfectly. One dribble up on the rim. The JackJumpers just always hang around.
They do. Good penetration by Drim to draw Lack. Lack probably got caught over helping, probably didn't need that.
Hey. Just can't get the stops and rolling up. If Wartenberg gets in a late pick and roll or a pick and roll, we're still in white. But we're V'ing back to him. 2 or 3 dribbles, Mag's got him.
If he takes his second dribble, go. Go, second dribble,
stay square on him.
One dribble, stay on his hip. Second one, get him up.
No burns out of here. Watch the ghost and stay in the outside shoulder, all right? Next time down for us. We're going to run 54. So we're going to run a 77. Jack's going to be first. And rolled in a nail. Nags is next and pinning down and coming back. All right? Together, 1, 2, 3 together. One shot for them, one shot.
Sounds like an NFL huddle. Was that some Sam Wardenberg rules? Let's see if this can be executed.
Well, you heard that was on the defensive end. They were saying that after a couple of dribbles, get back. Will Magnay is going to solve the issue. Well, let's see how they come down and execute the play that Scott Roth was drawing up. Go 54 into a 77.
Just 6 points for the Cairns Taipans in this last quarter so far. Lowest scoring fourth quarter this season is 13 by Perth. Adelaide in round 4, so that's in some danger here. Taipans desperate to get some offense going. McCall to Miller, shot clock at red numbers, needs to get busy, works to the elbow, can't convert, loose ball scramble here. McVeigh got up high, spills to Crawford. Chance for the JackJumpers to tie it away, maybe even take the lead here with a little over 90 seconds left on the clock.
They're the second best defensive rated team, Cairns, but just the way this game's gone, the way they've been since coming back from the States, I'm not sure they can just bank on getting enough stops to get this done. They need to find a way to put the ball in the basket.
Crawford goes solo, knocks down his first point since the opening quarter, and the JackJumpers are back in front.
There it is. You see the move, Pete? I know you think that's a travel. It is highly legal.
Firstly, that was perfectly legal. Look, Gary Brown went to Europe and back.
A nice finish from Bull Cole with the answering two for the Cairns Taipans. His first score in this quarter to put the Taipans back in front. Seesawing affair. Another tremendous Saturday night clash here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Point the difference. And here's Drimmick casually pulling the trigger on a three to put his team back on top.
Karen.
Looked like Lat got caught up in some crossfire. And Drim ain't been that wide open all game, knocks it down.
Terrific fight back here from the Tassie JackJumpers. They were down 8 with 4:40 left on the clock, and here we are inside the last minute, and they're on top by 2. Anthony Drimmick now with 7.
That doesn't look too good for Lat, man. I know it was innocuous and had his foot taken out. Look there. He's trying to little tweak of something. I was worried when he went straight to the quad that it was a corky. Any game there's a corky and Damon's on. What do I do with corkies?
Another thriller between these teams. Their 8th meeting, headed for the 6th single-digit result between them. 4-3 in favour of the JackJumpers at the moment, but the Taipans aren't done with just yet.
That's the muscular DeMar DeRozan, the mid-range game. Those Jays are butter.
This team's never played overtime. It beckons here at the moment. McDonald, Crawford. That's a screen at the top from Magna's, pushed by Wardenberg. Both teams with fouls to give here. Crawford shows us some tricks. Shot clock about to expire in the background. Can't get it done. Bill Cole had it, then it was dislodged, and now the scramble on the deck.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Called for a case. We're going to get a chance. This is pretty good defense from Taron Armstrong. He didn't move, and then ended up forcing Jordan Crawford into the trees. Everyone was flying on the...
Thank you.
Well, this is what it's going to come down to. Whoever's ball it is after this, you hold it, and you either go to overtime or you win it. You get the glory or you play another 5.
Tajima Cole looked as though he might have got away with a nudge there against Will Magnay under the bucket as well.
Time out to Tasmania.
So the JackJumpers call timeout, 14.6 on the clock, tied at 77. And we've mentioned this pre-game, how they're always in the equation, the JackJumpers. They've lost 5 games this year by 5 points, 3 points, 8 points, 1 point, and 6 points.
Well, they're going to get the chance to win it right here. And without Milne Doyle, I know Jordan Crawford hit that shot before, but without Milne Doyle out there and available, I'm going to Jack McVeigh. And I'm putting Jack McVeigh free throw line extended with a little bit of a rub screen and let him get downhill, either shoot a fadeaway, get to the rim. That's what I'd like to. I know as the president, little man, whatever society that you're in, I can see you just propped up off your white pages. You propped up off your white pages. I know you want Jordan Crawford to have the rock.
Absolutely. It is a Jordan Crawford ball screen. Whoever Wardenberg is guarding, Sam, come here, man, and let's dance.
Well, Crawford, 87% free throw shooter, if it came to that. McVeigh at 77.
They need to take free throws. One might be enough here at the moment, but what a thrilling finish this is, and still with Brisbane against Perth to come.
Well, you're in a situation where no matter what happens, you take the absolute last shot. You let that go so that if it misses, the siren's going to expire whilst it comes off the hoop. You do not give Cairns a chance to do anything with it. And 9 Cairns, they very heavy switching lineup, so let's see. There's plenty of time left.
Crawford to restart. McDonald with it now. JackJumpers, who are down 8 in this quarter, in the driver's seat, looking for a win. Crawford against Taron Armstrong.
Back, cross, swing, step back.
Elevates. Shot clock in the background. We are going to the extra period for the first time in history between the Taipans and the JackJumpers. We need overtime to separate them. It's 77 apiece at full time.
Jeez, he's not going to get a whole lot of credit for it, but he should. Taron Armstrong, watch Taron Armstrong not bite at any of this. They get the switch. This is what Tassie probably would have wanted. Taron Armstrong just stays down in the stance, does not bite on any of this ball movement, just stays there, stays solid, and you cannot guard that any better.
Full credit to him. Shades of his dad, Ben Armstrong. They should have went at Wardenburg, though, Pete. They put the wrong guy in the ball screen.
Well, that's just how you defend it. You don't bite at any of the dribble moves, because you were saying it a bit earlier, it wasn't going anywhere. That was all for a bit of show. He wanted that nice highlight.
He just hit the one before that, too. We got some free basketball, ladies and gentlemen.
Cairns going to have to find a way to get some points on the board, because that was a poor fourth quarter from their execution. Will Magnay. He's only got the 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. But compared to the rest of the team, his plus-minus looks pretty good. No, he's plus 17. He has had a really big impact. Just the 10 points from Cairns in that fourth quarter. Pat Miller with that last 2. He missed 2 of those mid-range jump shots before, so you knew one was bound to go down. He is a mid-range man, as you said, Damon. But there's a couple of tired boys out there.
Battle of nutrition. Nutrition? Attrition. You know what I meant. I love the 5-minute game. Who can be the most efficient, make the least amount of mistakes, and execute in 5 minutes? It's officially clutch time, of course, and that's when you find out discipline plays a big part in this.
Only the second overtime game of the season as well.
We've been starved for them, haven't we?
We have. We've averaged 10 a season for the last 3 years.
What's going on?
In terms of overtime. And
yeah, we've still got one of the closest seasons.
Only overtime game that we saw was Melbourne against Perth. And the Wildcats won it in OT in round 6. So we're underway. 5 minutes extra, 3 fouls apiece. Time out each. Miller puts it on the deck. Here's McCall around Magnay and getting it done.
Just finds a way. And you can see the bull ball was trying to go at Jordan Crawford in the post, but Taj took it upon himself.
Offensive foul now going to be called on the JackJumpers as well, as we go courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, I was just listening to Adam Ford and the Taipans there. A little frustrated with the officiating in the final seconds of regulation, which made for a very intense team huddle. But as Damon sort of alluded to before, I think that kind of suits the Taipans game. It's fast-paced, it's intense basketball, everybody contributing their bit.
Who's your tip from here, Joe?
Ooh, I got the Taipans from here. I think the home crowd are getting behind them.
Interesting enough, reading Adam Ford's lips to start that, he's saying that Jordan Crawford's travelling. And Damon is on the other side of that equation. He believes there should be a couple more calls. Not so much for the fouls, but saying this man right here is taking a few extra steps.
And McCall slaps out of the hands of Magnay. Loose ball here. Well done, Taj McCall. Making things happen for the Taipans. They lead by 2. Oh my. Well, the pass is wild though. Slipped out of his hands, intended for Bull Ball, and they turn it over for just the 9th time in the game, which is extraordinary.
I don't know if that's a slip. I think that's just a blatant miss.
You can't even be mad at Taj for...
He's exhausted.
He is.
You mentioned that he's played a lot of minutes in back, and I don't want to hear it.
You're about to hear it if you say it.
I don't want to hear it.
Don't say it.
Not all of us run 50 kilometers for breakfast.
He's proof right now, Pete, that you can play tired. Yes, he turned the ball over, but you ain't got to freak out, coaches, just because a guy gets tired and yanky. Look at Taj out there.
Here's Magnay back to Crawford. He's just one field goal since quarter time, Crawford. Now he's hit 2. We're back on level 2.
That's a breakdown because there ended up being no one guarding him. Not sure what happened on that ball screen.
Cole gets it from Miller. Wardenberg. Around the perimeter. Shot clock to single digits. Tied at 79. Now they need to get busy. It comes back to Miller. He knocks down the 3.
Just about to say how reluctant they are to even fire away from 3. They have put that away just 6 of 12 throughout the entire game.
And it's a good stroke. Surprised he don't look to shoot more of them.
2 of 2 in this game. And there's Adam Ford again talking to the referees about Jordan Crawford's footwork. And he says, well, how about you have another 2? 14 now for Crawford.
Well, what he's asking is he's basically saying every time he has the ball he's travelling with, it's a little hop and a little happy feet in there. But the targets, you call one of them, then you basically have to call it every single time.
Elevation from Bull Quoll is off the mark. Magnay grabs the rebound. Number 7 for him in that category. Go with his 6 points on 3 or 4 shooting. And Crawford against McCall. Puts it on the deck. Down low. Adds another 2. JackJumpers on top.
Here he goes.
El Presidente of the little big man society. He's remember who he is, Pete. He's a scoring machine.
It's scoreless through the second and third quarters. Jordan Crawford, he's got 16 in the game now when it counts most. Here's McCall, turnaround, tough shot, talked out of it by Magnay.
That close to the basket, I know they're trying to get that little pick and roll with Taj McCall, but that's where Will Magnay's going to have an advantage. Not just blocks, but just how high you have to shoot it over him if you catch it that deep.
Crawford, about the 3, goes to McVeigh and now gets it back. Shot clock to 5. Crawford works into the paint once more, adds another 2.
They got problems, Pete.
Yeah, he's going to work right now. And I'm scared that if he hits another big shot, you are going to come flying off your white pages so quick.
He scored all 8 points for the JackJumpers here in the extra period, Jordan Crawford. This is Miller putting it on the deck, hard to the rim, bounced into Magnay, and then McVeigh got a piece of the action.
Will Magnay proving his worth. Ultimate rim protection. Will Magnay walls up without fouling.
So this is a foul on Bull Quoll off the ball. Here's that rim protection from Will Magnay, and then Jack McVeigh comes to help out from behind, and then Bull Quoll on Drimmick. Just a little bit of extracurricular. There wasn't a whole lot in it, but enough to call.
So the JackJumpers up 3. In the overtime period, inside the last 60 seconds, they get McVeigh a look. He's off the mark.
That was a trouble.
He actually might have walked on that.
That one was a trouble.
Them little feet moving so fast, he couldn't see it.
Taipans need a bucket. Taron Armstrong goes to Bull Quoll. He decides to pull the trigger on a triple. Knocked it down from a foul chance and a 4-point play.
Big shot, Bull. In the and one.
Never looked like missing. Have a look at this. He just got called for a foul, and Drimmick says, here, take this. That right between the eyes and the chance for a bonus.
This is how the Taipans play. Any one of them on the floor will likely do anything.
We're getting a challenge here. Well, this is interesting. Because from where it looked like there was a bit of contact on that.
Let's check the landing space.
Now, if you're going to call a timeout after he knocks down the free throw anyway, you may as well. If it's close enough and you're probably going to call a timeout for whatever reason, then why not if you haven't used it? And I'm wondering whether it's going to be the landing space. Bull Quoll rises up, and I tell you what.
Sorry, it's a little dude in Perth.
Well, you see where
he gets that call every game.
You see where Drimmick's foot lands. The right foot lands past the three-point line, and I'm wondering whether his hip then goes in because of that. His hip goes into. So watch his right foot potentially into that hip right there of Bull Quoll.
Upon review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor will stand. We'll have one shot.
Yeah, that call's got to stand because we see the little Maestro. Maestro? Mr. Maestro. We see Bryce do that every game, Case. So you got to protect the shooter. He's got to be able to land. That's a consistent call.
And you can see the way Bull Quoll's body turned as well. And the key was Drimmick's right foot. The way that was going to be basically where Bull Quoll took off from. That was where he ended. But that felt like a use it or lose it challenge, didn't he? Because he said, okay, well, if he's knocked down this one, I want to draw something up anyway. So if it's close enough, maybe there's enough evidence. But even in the end, it wasn't going to be conclusive anyway.
For the lead, Bull Quoll misses.
Oh, he iced him. He iced him.
Tied at 85. More twists and turns, and Jordan Crawford's got plenty of those as he takes them on, draws a foul. He's off to the free throw line. McCall picks up his second personal.
Now, even though that foul was on Tajir McCall, as we look at the replay right here, I blame Bull Quoll for this. You pressured him so high, so aggressively at the half-court line, he's got no choice but to head downhill full steam ahead. So you got to be smart in this situation that can just contain him.
Yeah, time score awareness for sure. That's what you should be doing at the start of the game, or if you're down. You just don't want to give him an advantage, and you want your best defender in his best position, which would be three-point line, heels on the three-point line, in a stance, and you just want to have that one-on-one. You want to trust that when it comes down to it, you're going to get more stops and score he's going to make.
87% free throw shooter on the season coming into this game, Jordan Crawford. He was 26 of 30. And in this game, has missed a free throw, but makes the one that counts there.
Do you go 2 for 1, Pete, coming down, or do you just take the good shot?
Probably a timeout from Adam Ford, but they are a team known to... They're a team that likes to go quick. So if he calls a timeout, he's going to keep it in his back pocket. If you can get a quick one, absolutely. But it's so often in a 2 for 1, it's a poor shot.
JackJumpers by a point. Miller made room for himself, feeds McCall, who was shut down quickly. So they have to reset here.
They would have had it. He should have shot that. That was the 2 for 1 opportunity.
Here's Miller firing over Magnay. Got it short, it'll trickle out of court.
Great D by Magnay, just being long, just being disciplined. Didn't jump at this shot, just contested it beautifully. And you're right, Pete, Pat turned down the first good one he had. He was surprised he was that open.
So now I think they're going to look at this because obviously the time you're allowed to. So they're going to review, they don't have to challenge this, they're going to review it to see if there is a block on this. And I'll tell you what, with the spin, there very well may be. Will Magnay might have got a fingertip to that. They're set up like he didn't. And I say it's too hard to call. It is too hard to call. It's probably going to stay as it is. But yeah, they had it. Pat Miller shoved defense out the way and he tried to be unselfish. He's just got to shoot that ball. Because in the end, that is a lot harder than what would have been a free throw.
And the ball rotation suggested there was no finger on it from Magnay. So
reviewing the out of bounds.
JackJumpers lead by a point, 14.8 on the clock, and should get it back here.
Okay, nothing over the line here.
And what a virtuoso this last quarter, this extra period has been from Jordan Crawford. He has all 9 points. JackJumpers have scored. And Miller picks up the foul, so free throws to come now for Tassie.
So the overtime period case you're saying is Jordan Crawford 9.
Yep.
Cairns Taipans 8.
Not 9.
And this was a man who went scoreless through the second and third quarters as well. Made one shot after quarter time and then got to OT and he said, this is where I do my best work.
And for everyone just listening, in there you shoot on the third team foul in overtime. That's why Jordan Crawford's going to walk down the other end and have a chance to put this out to 3. And he's not going to do that.
I was going to say, if you get a three-point lead against a team that don't shoot threes very well, you feel pretty good about it. But now...
There's a timeout still for Adam Ford. So he'll be able to draw something up if he knocks this one down and advance the ball.
Still plenty of time as well. 13.5 seconds. Crawford makes the extra, so he's called all 10 points. Timeout called for the Cairns Taipans. They're down 1, 13.5. In fact, down 2, excuse me, with 13.5 left on the clock.
And now this is the opposite of the situation we had to end the fourth quarter, where Tassie, you shoot the last shot and either win the game or go to overtime. If you're Cairns, you have to kind of go quick, because if you miss, you want to still have a chance to extend the game or potentially get an offensive rebound. And here's the game coming up next. The Wildcats and the Bullets getting warmed up. Keanu Pinder. So Zakarski there. There's Harrison, Chris Smith. There's Mitch Norton with the moustache of
good work
November.
by Mitch. Yeah, it's coming in nicely. Oh, the #1 pick in the draft.
#1 pick. Don't go anywhere. What are you drawing up here, Damon?
Oof.
It's been the Pat Miller's to Jim McCall show in the second half, but really all game. If I'm Adam Ford and the way he trusts Ball Qual, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ball Qual in some of this action.
How bold would it be, Case, to foul? Say Tajir McCall, someone not a great free throw shooter.
That's a great call.
You like that, Pete?
109%. Yeah, 100%. Tajir McCall is 0 for 2 tonight. And again, if he knocks down 2, you still get a chance to go and win the game. But if you can do it legally without unsportsmanlike, I'm 100% probably going to foul Tajir McCall.
So the Taipans with possession, down 2. Double overtime beckons here if they can get something happening, or maybe the win. Here's McCall under the rack, gets it done. He adds the 2, tied at 87.
No timeouts. No timeouts. Chance to be a hero. Or we're going to play 5 more.
For the win, it's Jack McVeigh. The trigger on the 3 with the clock in the background. Tasmania have marched into Cairns, and they're marching out with an overtime win. What an unbelievable finish from Jack McVeigh.
Oh, man. Well, it wasn't the conventional way to draw it up. Firstly, Will Magnay, why are you jumping it to Tajir McCall on the 3? Tied it up, and then Jack McVeigh, he wanted to get the ball to Jordan Crawford. And in the end, he just had to let it fly.
Amazing finish to the game. Our Foot Locker player of the game, Jack McVeigh, finishes with 24 points. The big 3 right on the full-time buzzer, busted play. And Tassie climbed to the victory over Cairns in a thriller. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Jack McVeigh's the hero. Tassie 90, Cairns 87 in overtime.
Jack McVeigh knocks down a big three in overtime here on Saturday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. They were down 8 with 4.5 minutes to play in regulation, the JackJumpers, but they found a way to force it into OT, and then they came up with the win. They played one overtime game in each of their 3 seasons so far, the Tassie JackJumpers to this date, and they are 3-0. They get it done when it counts.
Hey, it don't matter how you win as long as you win. And the Jackies, they march on and just stay in the fight.
This man right here, Jack McVeigh, was enormous. Right there, just sends Cairns back home. They are home and they've got to go out the door with a loss. What an unbelievable shot and what an unbelievable game. Tassie, they just never say die. It doesn't have to be pretty. Milton Doyle only played 3 minutes in the first half and they always trust the process, and that's why.
They've done it again. So the Tassie JackJumpers are now 7-5 on the season. Cairns lose at home for the first time. On behalf of Pete Hawley, Damon Lowry and Joe Healy at courtside, I'm John Casey. Trust you've enjoyed it. I know you have. We'll see you again soon here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.